All right, clap it up. All right, clap it up. So, like for the delay, we had some technical difficulties. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shabbat. This is the ISUPK, start off 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding Junior Hunter. Shalom, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shabbat. Nosotros somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos de 1 Oeste, calle 125, en Harlem, Nueva York, abajo del comandante general Yahana. We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahana. And since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, informing you that you are the true Israelites spoken about in the Holy Bible. And today is ISUPK's San Antonio's Brotherhood class. And in recent happenings around here in San Antonio, everybody's in the festive spirit, right? That Christmas spirit, right? But that is a curse on our people. While everybody's in that spirit, evil is just multiplying here within the Black and Hispanic community. People think that this is the time to be merry, but no, this is the time where demons are just ramping up, and they say that it's a time to be merry and for families to come together, but you don't see that happening because that's not the truth of what this holiday brings out, right? This holiday is actually a pagan holiday, and it's not our true culture. Us blacks and Hispanics, Native Americans, it's time to separate from the culture of the heathen. This is their culture, and they come together to do debauchery. The truth about Christmas is it's called Saturnalia, and they would come together and they would have sacrifices unto false gods, and they would have orgies around this time of the year. That's the truth about Saturnalia, so-called Christmas. Know what I mean? And we're going to get into I'm going to send you an article so you can read. We're going to get into a news article that has been happening, that will just happen last Sunday, in here in San Antonio. And it goes along with what I'm going to be teaching about in our Brotherhood class today, right? The title of our Brotherhood class today is called "Hindering the Building of the Kingdom." Salakia. Let me try to pull this up real quick. Bear with me. I'm gonna send it to young man Jose so he can read it. Salakia, can you grab one of those microphones? See, this story is actually it's too well known within the Black and Hispanic community. Yeah, I'm about to send it right now. I sent it. Yeah, it's too well known within the Black Hispanic community.
Test.
And it just goes to show you that the ISUPK is in dire need out here in Texas and South Texas, and well, really all over the world, especially here in San Antonio, because we see this happening every year. Like, I've only been here casi 2 años, almost 2 years, right? And we had stories like this happening last year around this time in San Antonio, and even in where I'm from in West Texas, in the Permian Basin, there was a story similar to this that just happened around Thanksgiving time, where a brother, a Judite brother, ran into his own brother, another Judite, right? But it was his flesh brother, like they had the same mom and dad, right? And he ran into him with his car, got out of the car, and started unloading shots at his brother. Hit him like 9 times. You know what I mean? Thank the Lord his brother didn't die. No, thank the Lord his brother wasn't unalived. Slakia. His brother wasn't unalived. He was in critical condition, but he pulled through. And this is a similar story. And well, we're just gonna get into it. Go ahead and read the article.
So it says, woman dead after fight between brothers leads to shooting in San Antonio backyard. SAPD says a backyard dispute between two brothers escalated into fatal gunfire, leaving a girlfriend dead after she was shot several times in the crossfire. Police say San Antonio Police Department is on the scene where a woman is dead after a shooting broke out between two brothers in a north side backyard. Around 4 p.m., SAPD responded to the 200 block of Gazelle Drive after receiving reports of a shooting. Primarily, information from SAPD suggests four people were hanging out in the backyard, two brothers, a wife, and a girlfriend.
Right. So I'm gonna stop you right there. See,
Okay.
it seems like just a normal weekend, right? We just kicking back in the backyard, listening to music, maybe having some drinks, just relaxing. But the shooting broke out, right? They started arguing and stuff like this. This right here is because we do not have true brotherhood. The Christian church and the Catholic church, the Baptist church, it doesn't teach true brotherhood. It doesn't. And you can only learn true brotherhood when you come into the ISUPK. Because when you go into these Christian churches and these Catholic churches, they tell you to what, face your neighbor and shake their hand, right? And that's as far as they go. That's it. They don't show true brotherhood. What they want you to do is beg and plead to them for brotherhood, right? They had the Catholic charities where, yeah, you can go over there and you can find some help, right? And they say that's brotherhood. That's not brotherhood. That's not brotherhood. That's a write off for the Catholic Church. You know what I mean? All them donations that they give out, the help they give out for housing and paying your light bill. They help you pay your light bill or what have you. All that's just a tax write off for the Roman Catholic Church. They're bringing in billions of dollars each year. Don't you think that? I mean, they're bringing in so much money. Like the Vatican is sitting on so much gold that they have stolen from the so-called Northern Kingdom here in the Americas. They stole so much gold from the Aztecs, from the Incas, from the Taino, right? That they're just sitting on a mountain of gold. Like his chair that the Pope sits on, it's laced in gold. You know what I mean? He has shoes that are stitched with embroidered gold into the shoes. I mean, these popes, they hand these relics down from pope to pope to pope, right? They have money to feed the homeless of the world, but you have to go to the Catholic charity to get approved for them to pay your light bill, and they use that as a tax write-off. And you have to be approved. They have to prove you, right? That's diabolical. That's diabolical, really. Knowing that they have the means to take care of you, but they'll put you through a screening process And then they use that just to write off on their taxes, so they don't have to pay it to the governments of the world. That's diabolical. Go ahead.
Okay, so we left off at where it said a backyard dispute between no Salakia. Um, Primarily, information from SAPD suggests four people were hanging out in the backyard, two brothers, a wife, and a girlfriend, when a fight between the brothers broke out. SAPD said the brothers had a history of arguing.
Right? They had a history of arguing. Like brothers argue, right? Brothers argue, but see, they had a hit. It was well known, even within the SAPD, right? It was well known. So they probably been out there, separating scuffles or you know what I mean, separating chingazos from brother to brother. They've been out there before. It was well known. This is far well known within the black and Hispanic community. You know what I mean? When we keep these these curses alive, these what do we call them? We call them uh not bondage, but we call them generational curses, right? Because that's what they are. It's exactly what they are. They're handed down from generation to generation because of the curses that we're under, because we strayed away from the commandments of our Father. You know what I mean? That's what they are. But when you keep them alive, you keep stoking the fire, you're hindering the building of our kingdom. You're hindering the building because once we realize that the foundation of the kingdom of heaven here on earth is brotherhood, we would stop stoking that fire, stop stoking those generational curses. Know that we have a chance to renew our bonds between brother to brother. No longer will we hate our brother for being black. No more. No longer will we hate our brother for being Hispanic. No longer will we hate our brother just because he's got he's got you know more abundance than you. No longer will we hate our brother for staying on other sides of the block, for claiming different hoods. That right there is hindering the building of brotherhood, hindering the building of the nation of Israel, the kingdom of heaven. It's time to set aside all the petty differences that we have, set aside all the beef that we've had, that we've been carrying over generations. It's time like what you like how they say it's time to bury the hatchet. Know what I mean? You say you love the most high. You say you love, his son Christ that sacrificed himself for you. But then again you hate your brother that lives down the block because he wears a different color than you. You hate your own blood brother that you're fighting in the backyard with. So much that you decide to pull your sidearm and try to take his life. And who knows you more than your brother that grew up with you? Who knows you more than the brother that struggled right alongside you? But then you choose to hate him. But then you say you love God, right? That's totally ass backwards. We need to wake up and realize that the enemy, our oppressor, he loves it when you fight against your brother. He loves it. And we have to realize that from us keeping hating our brother, that's still keeping them in power, and it's hindering the building of our nation. We can't build our nation without brotherhood. We can't do it. We have to lean on each other and not rely on our oppressor any longer. And we can't rely on each other when we're hating on one another, when we're trying to unalive one another. We can't do it. Go ahead.
SA okay, Salahi. SAPD said the brothers had a history of arguing, but today went too far when one brother allegedly saw the other reaching for something before he pulled out his own gun and opened fire.
Right. He was trying to like there's a saying, you got to get them before you get got, right? But this argument between two brothers escalated so much that they try to pull on each other. They take each other's lives. I mean, was either over money or women. That's what it is. That's what it's about. And we as a nation have to remember that we have guidelines in this Bible. People like to say that in the Christian church, right? They like to say that the laws are done away with. But if he followed the laws of God, this wouldn't escalated so far. This wouldn't. We would have, you know, procedures, and well, we do have procedures here in the ISUBK. When brothers have disputes and the other brother's not hearing them, we take it to council. We take it to council. That's why it's so important to get inside this body, to get inside the ISUBK. So whenever you do have disputes against your brother, you can take it to the men of the Lord above you, and they can handle it out. They can set up judgments and you know well, yeah, they can set up judgments. Then justice will be upheld instead of just trying to take matters into your own hands and pull on your brother and take his life. I mean, that's just one less soldier that we need in the school. We need all the brothers that we can get, right? We the Lord is trying to raise up an army. He can't raise up an army when we're fighting against each other. We can't fight against the oppressor if we're fighting against each other. Can't do it. There's rules, regulations, and guidelines that we follow. That this doesn't happen here in the ISUBK. We take it to council. That's why ISUBK is so needed in the city of San Antonio. It's so needed because, like, our brothers are out there just lost because they're still trying to live the way the oppressor tells them to live. You know what I mean? Like, you feel a certain way against your brother, so you gotta put hands on them. You gotta put hands on the brother that grew up right next to you, that suffered the same oppression that you did. Nobody knows you just like your brother. Nobody knows what you've been through, exactly what you've been through, except the man that grew up right beside you and seen it in real time. But then you want to pull on him. That's crazy. Go ahead.
It says the one brother and his girlfriend were struck several times, according to SAPD. The wife was taken in for questioning as she was the only witness, and the brother who was shot is in stable condition and cooperating with police. SAPD said the girlfriend unfortunately did not survive the shooting.
Wow. That's sad, man. Like it was two brothers, right? One had his wife there. The other one had his wife there, but it caused a bit, you know how the system is. They say you're not married until you sign that piece of paper and you put the ring on, right? But sex is marriage. So that was his wife, right? So the brother pulled on his brother and fired several shots at him, striking him and his brother's girlfriend. The brother, you know, thank the Lord that he survived, right? He survived. But his wife didn't. Like this happens way too much in the black and Hispanic community because we as men are emotional. We act on our emotions because that's what this wicked kingdom teaches us. You know what I mean? It teaches us like it's a product of our environment, right? It teaches us like that's how it you're supposed to be when somebody wrongs you. You're supposed to get up in their face and you're supposed to check them and you're supposed to put hands on them, right? And if he pulls on you, you got to pull on him before he gets you. You got to get him before you get got. You know what I mean? Our eyes have been turned evil against our brothers, and that just further stokes the fire of our oppression. It further it further puts us under their control because now most likely this brother's going to go into the prison industrial complex, right? He's going to go into the prison industrial complex and he's just going to become another slave that they can control. They're going to take all his rights away. He's going to be a slave in there. You know what I mean? He might get what 25 to life for unaliving his brother's girlfriend. So he'll be in there like he'll be an old man before he even sees where he even gets the chance to see the time of day outside of those bars. You know what I mean? That's just another life that has been taken away from the nation of Israel. Two, really, yeah, two lives. All right, let's go ahead and finish it.
Okay, so it says the brother is facing charges for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and murder, but SAPD charges could be upgraded following further investigation. This is an ongoing investigation.
So you're like, man, they're gonna slam the book on this brother. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna slam the book on this brother because they're probably looking for maybe this was over drugs or something. You know what I mean? They're gonna be yeah, yeah. It's either drugs or a female or that yeah, yeah. So man, they're gonna throw the book at this brother, man. And I mean,
Not the first time it happens too.
nah, I'm saying it,
I'm from the south side, and they
right.
my cousin got shot in the head in the south side on Harding. My uncle got stabbed in the neck down that street on Harding on Gillette Street, brother. And what one of the dumb things that we would say in the hood, especially me, my I would say this: my uncle died on Gillette, my cousin died on Harding. Guess where I'm gonna die at too? Right here in the hood too. That's
Yo,
one thing that I would
yeah,
say, me being from the south side, but
yeah,
Most High in Christ, get that shit away from us, bro.
yeah. Because
We really
that
need to
that
change here in San Anto. How
damn
we
right,
say it.
damn right,
That's
damn right.
right. We need to
Damn right.
really come back to the Most
We
High.
we have a lot of work to do here because our people are under the influence of our oppressor because they put that uh, they're the originators of like the gang culture, right? They're the originators of that. We just copied that. We just been under them so long that we just do what they do, not knowing that we have our own culture. So that's why the Christian and Catholic Church is so evil, man, because they painted the man that we're supposed to look up to, live after, they paint him as as one of their own. So now we look up to them. We're trying to live up to them. We're under like the yeah, it's witchcraft, right? It's the witchcraft of the devil. Exactly what it is. We're under, oh, of course we're under curses too, because we strayed away from the Most High. We're going to get into it now too, but they have furthered our affliction. They furthered it. by putting us under that that illusion that they're our God. Now they damn near well knew what they were doing when when Christopher Columbus brought that wicked image over here. They knew what they were doing. Yeah, they knew what they had. But we're done with that article. I just wanted to bring that up because
That's all San
yeah,
Antonio. And it's not only here, Rock. It's like in other big cities. You know what I'm saying? It's
right,
everywhere. It fans out everywhere, brother.
right,
Wanna be gangster lifestyle.
right. We're gonna pull up in the scriptures real quick. Hold on, let me try to find it. 28, 15. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28.
What is it again? Selected?
Deuteronomy chapter 28
Deuteronomy chapter 20. Okay, there we go.
and verse 54.
Deuteronomy 28. That's the curse.
Right.
What?
Verse 54.
That's the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you,
Right. The man that is tender among you. You grew up with your brother, right, in the house. You develop a bond with your brother because man, like before you went to school, that was your only friend. Was your brother, right? Yeah, that was your homie, nigga. Like yeah, right. That was your homeboy. That was your homeboy. Yeah, y'all did everything together. And then you go to school, right? And one of y'all goes to school, and then the other one goes to school, and y'all of course y'all gonna branch out and find other brothers. But a lot of times, brothers hang out with brothers, like, and each homie hanging out. You know what I mean? It becomes a bond. Brothers hang out with brothers, and you're gonna hang out with your other homeboy and his brother too. You know what I mean? Because y'all just live down the block, and you know what I mean. You develop a brotherly bond. That bond is one of the biggest bonds that us blacks and Hispanics will ever have in our life. That yeah, that bond is deep, right? It you hold that bond so close to you. It's delicate to you. You want to protect that bond. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
Right. His eyes shall be evil towards his brother. And that's what happened to those brothers in that backyard. Their eyes were evil towards one another. They grew up together. They had that bond, right? They had that bond. But they let the influence of this world break that bond. The influence of the oppressor, whether it be lust over a woman or money, right? Money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. He loved that money. Like if it was an issue about money, he loved that money more than he loved his blood brother, more than he loved his carnal. That's crazy. Like he just let that break the bond. Go ahead.
His eye shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom.
Right. The wife of his bosom. Like his brother's girlfriend got unalived, right? That's the wife of his brother's bosom. In other words, he's supposed to see that woman as his sister because his brother and her were were one. So the same love he has for his brother, he should have had for her too. But his eye was evil towards his brother, so his eyes was evil towards his sister too. And he just decided to unalive them. We got to break this curse. Christ already made the ultimate sacrifice for us. All we have to do is follow him, and it breaks that curse. It breaks it. It's already been broken. You just got to follow what he laid down for us. And Christ already laid out the building blocks of the kingdom. We just got to pick them up and put them in place. That's it. Put them in place and keep building, keep building. And it's built on brotherhood. It's built on brotherhood. But if there's no brotherhood, there's no foundation. So there's nothing to build on. Go ahead.
And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Right, right. And I'm pretty sure that his brother had children. Right. I mean, if you're black and Hispanic, you have children when about the time you turn 14. It's like, but
That's not cool.
yeah, but yeah, those children don't have any parents anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad. This story is far well known within the black and Hispanic community, and it just people just shrug it off like it's an everyday thing now, right? Like it's like, yeah, it's just a thing that happened on the north side. Things like that happen every day in north and south side, west side, east side. You know what I mean? All the dilapidated parts of town, that happens every day, right? So it becomes the norm to us. So we're desensitized to this. But it's time to actually wake up to the conditions that we're in. Wake up that we are in hell. We are living in a living hell. Literally. Like this, the fire burnt so, like the anger burnt so ferocious in this brother that he decided to unalive it, pull his weapon and unalive his brother and his brother's wife. Like we are in a living hell, and the only way out of it is showing love to your brother. Is the curse that we just read, to stop living in that curse. We can break out of it. We can. We just got to follow our king. Follow what he truly taught. We don't learn what our king taught in these Christian and Catholic churches. No, because I'm pretty sure these brothers went to church every Sunday. Know what I mean? And if not every Sunday, they probably went every Christmas, which is about to happen, right? They went every Christmas, every Easter. You know what I mean? They went with their mom. Their mom was wearing the big hat in the Baptist church, or like it doesn't say what race these brothers were, but I'm pretty sure on the north side they were either black or Hispanic. Right. You know what I mean? So they went to the Catholic church every I forgot what mass they call it on during Christmas mass. You know what I mean? Bowed down to the false image of Christ, that white Christ that the devil spread out through all the entire earth. You know what I mean? They see the little white baby in the manger that they put out in the nativity scene, and they think it's so wonderful with all the lights around, decorated with all the houses with the lights. They're just desensitized. We are desensitized to to evil. We are desensitized to sin, and it's mainly because of the Catholic Church and the Christian Church. They don't teach true brotherhood. They don't teach that the laws of God are still here, that we have to abide by the laws of God. They don't teach that. So now we're still living in the curses, and we're just furthering our oppression underneath these curses. It's time for blacks and Hispanics to come together, to put away the ways of our oppressor, because their ways just brings death, as we read right now in that article. Their ways just bring death to our nation. Drop that. Let's get into Ephesians 5:24.
Ephesians, the book of Ephesians 5, verse 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ,
Right. The church, which means the gathering of Israelites. We are subject unto Christ. We are, you know, under his leadership. Christ didn't teach us that we should hate our brother. That's the opposite of what he taught. Christ didn't teach us that we should take the lives of our brother when we have disagreements. That's the opposite of what he taught. That's the opposite of brotherhood. Christ taught brotherhood when he was out here. When Christ was walking amongst us here on earth, his main foundation of his teachings was brotherhood. You're not going to learn that in the Christian church and the Catholic church. But here in the Isupk, the main foundation here is brotherhood. Brotherhood is a weapon, and we use that weapon every day. Without brotherhood, you are defenseless. You're defenseless to the wiles of the devil. Because if them brothers had brotherhood, really, they would take their disagreement to council. They would take it to council, and that sister has still been alive. Go ahead.
therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Right. See, because they were arguing, right? Why did he shoot? Why did he shoot his girlfriend? Because she was probably in the mix. You know what I mean? Arguing back and forth. She was she was thinking she was equal. You know what I mean? She was thinking that she was equal. That way she bucked up too. And it got her unalived. You know what I mean? It put her in danger. We as men have to have to be the operators of order in our households. Right? This was completely out of order. What men what men are the heads of the women. We're going to get into that too. Men are the heads of the women. We're not supposed to hurt our women. We're supposed to protect our women. And okay, they were fighting, right? This was completely out of order. What should have been done was that sister should have been protected. She should have been told to, s- you know, get away from the situation, stand down, go and go. Like this is getting hot. You need to go over there. But since we don't know the true order of things, we are completely in disarray. Us blacks and Hispanics, our households are completely um, a mess. Really, we are out of order. Out of order. Instead of building up our households, we're tearing them down. This was tearing a household down, tearing your brother's home down. You know, we're supposed to help build each other up, help support each other, protect one another. This was just completely out of order. Go ahead. Oh no, go
Verse
ahead with the
25.
top. No, go ahead. Start it over again.
Ephesians 5, verse 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Right, in everything. What did Christ do for the church? What did Christ do for the church? for the church just simply means gathering of Israelites, right? So what did Christ do for the Israelites? Right, he gave his life for the Israelites. He didn't take Israelites' lives. He gave his life. Yeah, that's what a man is supposed to do. If we want to be like Christ, what would Jesus do? Give his life, right? Right. So the wife is subject underneath her husband. You're supposed to give your life for your wife. You're supposed to protect your wife. This goes completely against the scriptures, against brotherhood. We're supposed to protect one another. He's supposed to see that sister as his own sister instead of just his his brother's girl, right? He's supposed to see her and he's like, "Oh, that's my brother's girlfriend. That's my brother's wife. That's his woman. That's him." Like if you have love for your brother, you're gonna have love for your brother's woman too. Yeah, that's because that is your brother. The two are one. But we don't know true brotherhood here between blacks and Hispanics in this wicked kingdom. We don't know true brotherhood. We don't. That's why classes like this are so fundamental and so important to blacks and Hispanics because they're not going to learn this in the Christian church. That they'll learn some, like, even if they talk about, they don't never talk about what's happening amongst, right, right. They don't never talk about what's happening amongst blacks and Hispanics. They don't. They're not. How can they're not for you. They're not. I mean, you're you're working with basically the CIA if you're pushing out, this gang culture, this this hostile culture that is influenced on us. You're basically working for the enemy if you keep these wicked traditions going amongst blacks and Hispanic families. You know what I mean? Just like how the Catholic Church, the Christian Church, they work for our enemies. They're not for us. Further maintaining the heathenistic lifestyle that we're living in, we're furthering the plan of our oppressor. This is a well thought out, you know, militarized plan that they're having on us, right? It's called, it's called, no, not pipe, well, the prison pipe, exactly. What it, yeah, that's what it that's what it works into, but it's called divide and conquer. These two brothers are divided. Therefore they're conquered. You know what I mean? Therefore they're conquered. And once they're conquered, they can manipulate each brother to uphold their will. And their will just brings death and destruction. It just brings what? Either you're going to die trying to sell their drugs, or you're going to end up in prison, destroyed in prison. The prison industrial pipeline, and you're their slave. You know what I mean? We're still their slaves. We still have to work a 9 to 5 to survive, right? We got to build up their kingdom to survive. But supposedly they they freed the slaves, right? But then they just found a way around it. Then now they can put you into to prison, and you're you're a slave again. You know what I mean? They got shackles on your arms again. It's a whole plan, a militarized plan that they have on us. and it's working. As long as we are divided, it's working. As long as we stoke the heathenistic customs that we're living under, we're hindering the building of the kingdom. We're hindering it. That's why they have fear of us coming together. They fear it. So they do everything in their power to keep us divided, to keep us fighting amongst each other. It's time to break up. Break up. It's time to break out of their agenda. Break out of it. And you can only do that here in the ICPK. All right. Go ahead and drop that. Let's get into 1 Corinthians 11:3.
First Corinthians.
Hold on. I'm on Chronicles, Salakia. Let me get there with you. 1 Corinthians 11:3. I don't know why I pulled up Chronicles. That's crazy. No, go ahead.
First Corinthians 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right, the head of every man is Christ. Right? Christ is supposed to be our head, which means we do everything that he says. We don't try to live life on what our oppressor says. We live life according to the way that Christ said for us to live. And Christ did not teach that the laws of God are done away with. Christ did not teach that. We have laws, regulation, and guidelines on how to treat one another. Right? Go ahead.
That the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
Right. And the head of the woman is the man. When you're the head of a household, you're not gonna not care whether they're safe or not, right? You're the first one up when you hear something like somebody tapping on the window trying to get in. You're the first one up. Somebody trying to break in the front door, you're the first one to the defense of your household, right? You're not going to you're not going to just not care about the safety of your household. You're not going to care about the safety of your woman. And it goes the same as your sister, right? It goes the same way. You're not going to not care about the safety of of your sister and your wife. You're not. As the head, we're supposed to lead, guide, protect, and provide, right? And this was not providing a safe environment within that household. That was not providing a safe environment for that sister. It wasn't. So these men were completely out of order. There's too many of us being unalived every day. Too many of us. So we as blacks and Hispanics, we're supposed to realize that we are at war. And we're supposed to be on shamar at all times, on alert, at all times. You know what I mean? At all times. And if you're having an argument within one another and it further escalates, you're not considering the safety of everyone around you. You're not, especially to the weaker vessel, which is the woman. Because she's not gonna, like, just say, for instance, if they got in a fight and he instead of shooting balazos, let's say he was just throwing bows, right? And she got connected with one. She could have well died also like that. They are the weaker vessel. We gotta, yeah, we gotta to take in account that you know our future is at stake when our women are unsafe. Because how are babies born? We as men cannot carry the baby on our own. We plant the seed, but the woman carries it. We, it's going to take both of us to build the kingdom. It's not going to just be us men. You know what I mean? We have to we have to protect our women. And you're not protecting your woman when you decide to pull your weapon on your brother and your sister's right there, right? Your wife is right next to you. Because what if they both started shooting at each other? His wife was there too. I mean, the brother that unalived the sister, his wife was there too. Yeah, like it's completely out of order. The order is this. Read it again.
I'm gonna go from the top.
Right. Read it from the top again.
Cornith, First Corinthians 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Right. The Most High instructed Christ on everything. Right. On everything. Christ instructs us on everything. So you're supposed to instruct your woman on everything. And Christ gave his life for us. He protect like by giving his life for the nation of Israel, he protected us from destruction. So you being the head of your wife, your woman, your sister, you're supposed to protect her from destruction also. And you're supposed to be level-headed as a man. We're not supposed to feed into our emotions. We're letting our emotions, you know, that's just another agenda of the oppressor, right? So like that's just an agenda of they feminize our men. You know, acting on your emotions is effeminate. That's what women do. We as men are supposed to be the like Captain Yatazak says, we're supposed to be the thermostat of the room. We set the temperature of the room. A woman is getting heated or she's getting cold, we set the temperature. We set the temperature. We control that. Right? We're not supposed to be letting our emotions run us like how they run a woman. No, because situations become unsafe, unstable when there's no, temperate. Just like how if they're just like say for instance, here in the school before we just recently installed a thermostat, right? I mean, I'm just using this as an example. Before we could temperate the the temperature in here, it was the AC was just on continuously, right? And we're in Texas, so the AC is going to be on, right? But there was no way to regulate when the AC will shut off. So it was just on. You would walk in here and be like, "Oh, it feels good in here," right? Like everybody likes it real cold. But what does that cause when you're trying to maintain a building? What does that cause? Yeah, exactly. Your 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 energy bill is out of control. Out of control. Well, I mean, we learned our lesson. We got a thermostat to temper the temperature. That's what a man's position is in the household. In order for things not to be out of control and overwhelming, the man sets the temperature in the household, and not by acting on his emotions. Oh, it's hot in here, so I'm just going to let this 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 AC run all day long. No. Oh, I'm mad at my brother, so I'm just going to let this argument become out of control to where it just becomes unstable and unsafe. the environment is unsafe for for the weaker vessel around you. You know what I mean? We're men, we're used to war. We're warriors. As blacks and Hispanics, that's our spirit. We're warriors. We have a warrior spirit, but we're not supposed to bring that war into our household. We're not. Salakia. That goes into my next my next scripture. Hold on, I gotta find it. But start from the top again.
First Corinthians 11,
Verse 3.
verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Right. So that's the order that we're supposed to be living in, that we are supposed to conduct our households in. But us as head of the household acting on our emotions is completely out of order. Completely out of order. That's why we have to actually study the Bible, read it. You know what I mean? They don't do that in Christian church. They don't actually read the Bible there. They might take one or two scriptures throughout the whole sermon that he's up there, right? And he's gonna twist them all up and break them down all wrong. But they don't read the scriptures. They don't. They don't teach the Bible. They don't. You can only learn the truth of the Bible here in the ISUPK. So, like, I'm still looking for this verse. Okay, so like it's going to be in the Apocrypha. It's going to be Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, verse 30.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 4, verse 30. Be not as a lion in thy house.
Right. Be not as a lion in thy house. What is a lion known for? Right, on the prowl, but he's known for his roar, right? And with these two brothers arguing, right? They're roaring at each other. They're just getting louder and louder and louder. Read it from the top.
Ecclesiasticus, chapter 4, verse 30. Be not as a lion in thy house.
Right. Be not as a lion in the house. Don't let your anger overtake you. Because a lion, when he's hunting down his prey, or when he's trying to get rid of a threat from you know causing disarray amongst his pride, you know what I mean, causing disorder amongst his pride, he roars, right? He roars, and he gets aggressive, and he destroys stuff. He destroys his enemy. He destroys, you know um whatever in his path to get to his enemy. He destroys it. The word of God says what?
Be not as a lion in thy house.
Be not as a lion in thy house. Don't let your anger control you. We're supposed to be level-headed. Go ahead.
Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants.
Right, thy servants. And we just learned the order of the household. The women serve their husbands. So we're not supposed to show any type of unruly emotions around our servants, right? Which is everybody underneath your household, underneath you in the household. It's completely out of order of how our households are conducted nowadays. I remember growing up, I always saw my mom and my dad just fighting, and my dad being like a roaring lion in the house, and he would, get things, throw them and break them, put hands on my mom, and just be like a roaring lion, right? And it just causes your your household to be in like disarray and just out of order. That's why so much of our households suffer. Know what I mean? Because they're seeing that violence in the household
Mhm.
because either their mom or their father can't control their emotions. Know what I mean, and I'm gonna put it on us as men because we're supposed to be the level-headed ones. Women, they're the ones that act on their emotions. That's just in their nature. But like I said before, we're supposed to control all that in the household, control all the temperature in the house. You know what I mean? When your woman gets heated up and she's about to be, her emotions are becoming overwhelming for her, you know, you sit her down, calm her down. She's yelling at you, so you're going to start talking with a more subtle tone to her so she can hear you. Because if you are both screaming at her, she's going to feed off that energy. Women feed off energy. Women feed off other people's emotions. Men are not supposed to do that. We don't feed off emotions. We feed off of logic. If we see something that's getting overwhelming, like her her emotions, right? You're going to logically calm things down. You're not going to meet her at her level because it's just going to further exacerbate her emotions. So you're going to keep everything in control. You're going to be logic. You're going to deal with logic. She's not dealing with logic when she's emotional. So like, okay, settle down. You're going to settle down and say, okay, tell me what's really bothering you. And you're going to tell her in a subtle voice, not screaming at her, not not trying to meet her at her level. You know what I mean? You're going to set the tone. That's how we're supposed to operate. So whenever your brother is getting out of hand, right? We have to learn the same way because a lot of our brothers act like women. They act emotional. They let emotions run them. They let their anger get the best of them. So we're going to deal with our brother logically. You know what I mean? And with love. We can't we cannot, you know, it's going to sound Christian, right? It sounds real kind of what we think is how Christians teach is like, what will Jesus do, right? But really, though, Jesus laid out the foundation for our nation. So, what will Jesus do? Jesus wouldn't meet his brother at the same level and let things escalate, right? No. What did Christ do when the Roman centuries went to go, the Roman soldiers went to go arrest him, and I believe it was Peter that chopped off the ear of the guard, right? He calmed things down. He calmed things down. He healed. He put the ear back on him. He calmed things down. He calmed things down because he was looking out for the safety of his brothers, which is that was the household that he was in. Because he was the head of the household, he was looking out for the safety of his brothers. Well, that's how we're supposed to conduct our households. We're looking after the safety, looking after the order of things when we actually follow the teachings of Christ and not letting our emotions run us. That's why we as Israelites, blacks and Hispanics, need to get out of these churches because they don't teach us on how to build our families up, build our brothers up, build the kingdom of God up. They say sow a seed, and by doing that, what do they mean by sowing a seed? What they mean here, we say put your brick in, right? You hear that saying amongst us, like come into the school and put your brick in, right? Well, the opposite of that, what Christians would teach is sowing a seed. You sow a seed, you get it back 10 times fold. But what do they mean by that? What do they want you to do?
Um, I guess like plant like their doctrine into somebody else.
Mm,
Right? Sow a seed. Go
not,
sow a seed.
not
Go bring somebody back into
kind of.
like bring somebody in.
So they can do what? So they can do what though?
Be Christian again.
Be no. But what is the main goal of the pastor when he's doing his preaching?
Don't be all. Oh yeah. Tithe.
Tithes.
Yup.
It's all about money.
Sow a seed.
So when they say sow a
Yeah,
seed,
I
to
get it.
put money
Sow a
in
seed.
that offering plate. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all they want. That's all they teach there. It's going to come back 10 times fold. You're putting in the offering plate, which they say is going towards the building fund. But not a doorknob gets changed in the Christian church within 15 years. You know what I mean? Not a doorknob gets changed. It's 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 crazy how us blacks and Hispanics uphold that ridiculous ideology. We uphold that over the true word of God. All we have to do is just pick it up and read it. Like how many scriptures have we read within just the few minutes that we've been teaching?
5, 10,
Yeah, and
5, 10, and they were all like,
in the Christian church, you when that pimp is on that pulpit, because that's what they are. It's a pimp. He's pimping you out of your money, your hard-earned money. He will read maybe one or two scriptures. That's it. They don't teach brotherhood. They don't teach the laws of God. They say the laws of God are done away with. When they talk about brotherhood, they just want you to look to your neighbor and shake his hand right before you put money in the offering plate. They just want you to feel like you're part of, like you're part of a congregation, as they would say, right? You're part of the congregation. You feel welcomed in there. So y'all give money. That's all they want you to feel. That's the brotherhood they want from you is money. No, we want blacks and Hispanics together and not divided to build up the kingdom of God. That's what we want. And we can't come together with us being emotional and acting acting upon our emotions. No. Whenever we have disagreements, we take it to counsel. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull that up right now because that's so important, man. It's in Matthew Salakia. Let me look for it real quick. It's in Matthew 18.
you wanted to read 31.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna read 31. I'm gonna read both.
Go ahead.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 4, verse 30. Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants. Let not thine hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay.
Right. In other words, like you're just being stingy. You know what I mean? You're just being stingy. You're not actually looking out for the well-being of your brother. You're just worried about yourself. You're just worried about yourself, right? And when you're just worried about yourself, you get emotional because that's what women do. Women are selfish. We're not. We, as the protectors of our nation, as the protectors of our household, we can't be selfish. We have to be willing to lay down our lives for our brothers and sisters. We have no room to be selfish. It's not it's not that time. No, it has never really been that time. But now is the time for us to actually look out for one another, come together, and stop being selfish. But Salakia, pull up Matthew chapter 18, verse 16.
The book of Matthew. So like, what was it?
Matthew 18, verse 16.
The book of Matthew,
Salakia,
chapter 18.
yeah, start at let's start at 15.
The book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 16.
No, 15.
Oh, Salakia, 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee,
Right, shall trespass against you. If he has any type of problem against you, right? It will if you have any type of problem against your brother, right? If he trespassed, which means he crossed you in some way, he offended you in any way, right? Go ahead.
moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Right, between thee and him alone. No, bring your wife.
No, between thee and him alone.
No, bring your girlfriend so y'all both can gang up on him.
Between thee and him alone.
Right. See, that's what needed to happen. Is those brothers should have came face to face with each other and you know had a discussion between just two brothers. You know what I mean? If they should have walked off somewhere the corner of the yard and had a discussion instead of their women being right there next to them because women like put them to the side like, hey brother, come over here, I need to talk to you real quick, man. I didn't appreciate you saying this. I didn't appreciate this happening the other day, or whoop whoop whoop, you know what I mean? Whatever trespass they had against each other, they could have talked amongst each other, but they did it with their women next to them, and emotions got to flying. Emotions got to flying, and women feed off emotions, so they started. You know what I mean? And things just became overwhelming as the result of what we read in the article, as to where somebody got unalived. This could have been prevented. Go ahead.
Go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Right. Like they could have settled it and squashed it right then and there. You know what I mean? Like, orale, carnal. Hell yeah, man. Like, I'm sorry, brother. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, brother. Like, I'll pay you back, or oh, this one happened again. Forgive me. You know what I mean? And
Shit, or
other
it's
than
not even worth it.
yeah, it's all right, whatever. Let's have a beer. Let's have a taco with the carne asada. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's just, you know what I mean? It's water underneath the bridge. And they could have had peace again amongst each other. Go ahead.
Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established.
Right. So take it to council. And you can't take it to council with the woman being over you, with the woman being out of order. You know what I mean? The women are out of order because lot of times in our households, right? The women are the head of the household. That's why things are so. That's why things are so disarray amongst blacks and Hispanics, because emotions rule the household. As the case of the brothers that we read about in the article, emotions got so high that somebody got unalived. Right? It what it seems like is maybe they took it to counsel with their women, and the women have right here. It's you take it to the council that somebody can judge the trespass, right, and rule out a judgment for that trespass. That's what we have established here in the UPK. We take it to council with our captains, and if that doesn't get settled, then we take it to council with our generals, and they rule out a judgment. Nowhere does it say that the women are in that council. No, it's supposed to be the heads of the household or the heads of the nation that we take it to council. This is what we're supposed to be following. You don't let things get out of hand and escalate and your emotions just rule you. I mean, if your brother doesn't hear his trespass that he did against you, that he's not willing to apologize, you take it to counsel, as it said in verse 16. You take it to counsel. Don't let your emotions run over you. Don't let your emotions rule you. Drop that. Let's get Salakia. For my last scripture, I'm gonna pull up this one right here. Let me look for it real quick. It's in the Apocrypha. Salakia. Let me look for it. Ecclesiastes 33:19. So like bear with me real quick. Look up Ecclesiasticus 33 verse 19.
The book of Ecclesiasticus 33, verse 19. Give not thy son and wife
Yeah,
thy.
that's it. That's it. Yeah.
That's it right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, from top
No,
of
start at verse 18.
the book of Ecclesiasticus 33, verse 18. Hear me, O ye great men of the people.
Right. Hear me, O ye great men of the people. That's what that's what we are supposed to strive to be, is great men of the people. We're not gonna let women rule our lives. We're not gonna let um, you know, our oppressor influences rule our lives. We're supposed to be great men of the people, which is we're supposed to be leaders of our people. That's why when you come into the ISUPK, you start as a young man. You want to be, you know, of found of like how can I say, not a founder, but you want to be a pillar amongst your people, right? You want to teach your, that's why you come to the school. You want to teach your people of the truth, teach your people a better way on how to live, because the way we're living in is complete. We're living in hell, right? So you come into the school, you're a young man, you strive to be an officer, which is a priest, a teacher. So you're striving to be a great man, a leader of your people. Go ahead.
Hear me, O ye great men of the people, and hearken with your ears, ye rulers of the congregation.
Yeah, rulers of the congregation. That's what we're striving to do. As Black and Hispanics, we're supposed to be rulers of our household. Go ahead.
Verse 19, give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend, power over thee.
Power over thee. Don't give them power over thee. Which what does that mean?
Don't let them bully you. Like bully you, punk you.
Yeah,
Don't let them move
don't
you around, boss you around.
that
No.
yes, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you. Don't let them dictate your emotions. Don't let them have power over your emotions. Like your wife is going to piss you off, right? But don't let that emotion rule you. Don't let her have the control over that button. She knows what buttons to push to make you mad, but don't give her that power. Yeah, you're going to get mad, but you're supposed to control your emotions. Don't give her that power. Don't get don't give your children that power because your children can even push your buttons. Don't give your children that power. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be a lion in your household. Go ahead. Or no, Salakia. What else did it say? Let's start from the top.
I got the book of Ecclesiasticus 33, verse 19. Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and
Thy
friend.
brother. Don't give because your brother, you're gonna have disputes with your brother. You are. But don't give your brother the power to control your emotions. Keep that power within yourself. Keep your composure. Keep your your emotions under your control. Go ahead.
Thy brother and friend, power over thee while thou livest.
Right. While thou livest, like strive to keep that power in your control every day of your life. Strive to keep your emotions under your control every day of your life. Don't give power of your emotions to anybody. Go ahead.
And give not thy goods to another, lest it repent thee, and thou entreat for the same again.
Right. Like don't let your goods, which is your like your emotions, your love, your your state of well-being, right? Don't give it to anybody. Keep that under your power. Because if you do, things are going to get overwhelmed and out of your control. And you're going to wish that you didn't do it. Go ahead. No, verse 20.
Ecclesiasticus 33, verse 20. As long as thou livest and hast breath in thee, give not thyself over to any.
Right. Don't let another person control you. Control your emotions. Control your your state to where you're thrown off your square. Right? Always keep yourself in control. You are the control of your emotions. You're in control of your state of self, right? Don't let people like when they try to pick at you in the argument, right? They're going to start making fun of you. They're going to see what you're insecure about, right? And that's going to lead to you getting emotional. You're supposed to not let that power out of your hand, right? Don't give somebody that power because if you do, you're gonna act out on them in your emotions. You're gonna act out, and you're gonna wish you didn't. Like this brother right here that we read in the article, the brother that unalived his sister. He's wishing that he didn't do that. He's repenting of that action, right? he's repenting of that action. Like, oh man, why did I do that? Like, you know what I mean? He's repenting of that action. If we actually read the scriptures and were taught the scriptures and learned the scriptures, this could have been avoided. But Ecclesiasticus, they don't even know that this is in the Bible. Our brothers don't even know that this is in the Bible because they relying on that child abuser to tell them about God. They're relying on that, on Pastor Porkchop to tell you about God. Go ahead. Verse 21.
Verse 21. For better it is that Salakia, for better it is that thy children should seek to thee than that thou shouldest stand to their courtesy.
Right. In other words, it's saying that instead of tracing after your children's approval, like, oh, I want my children to like me, so I'm going to be their friend. No, let your children come to you because you're supposed to control you're supposed to dictate everything that's happening in your household. You're not supposed to let your children, rule over you. So you're not supposed to let your emotions rule over you. Yes, you love your children. Yes, every black man and Hispanic man loves their children. But we're not supposed to let our emotions rule over us when it comes to our children. We're supposed to be level-headed and not let, the threat of them not liking you dictate what you're supposed to be doing. Dictate your rules and regulations in the household, which are the rules and regulations of Christ, which are the words of God. That's the order of things. We're not supposed to let our women run the household because she'll let her children run over her. She will. Eventually, she'll break to the will of her son, to will of her daughter. Eventually, she will break. Yeah, she will stand behind them too. Yeah, yeah. She'll break. We're not supposed to. We're not. We're supposed to be the leaders of our household. And we can't let emotion lead. We're not. We're not supposed to let emotion lead. We're supposed to be cool, calm, and collective. We're supposed to be in control, not emotions. Keep going.
Verse 22. In all thy works, keep to thyself the preeminence.
The preeminence.
Oh, the preeminence. Salakia.
Preeminence, which means your position, right? Salakia. Let's look up that definition of preeminence.
Okay, I got you.
I got it. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Bro. That's cold. Oh, this is cold right here. That's
Definition of preeminence.
That's San Antonio too, toilet, bro. That's what's going on. That out of order. It's all right here.
Right. The definition to preeminence: the fact of surpassing all others, superiority. You're supposed to be superior in your household. You represent God in your household. You're not supposed to let your woman rule over you, not your kids, not even your own emotions. Read that again.
Verse 22. In all thy works, keep to thyself the preeminence, leave not a stain in thy honor.
Right. Don't leave a stain in your honor. You're supposed to be the superiority and the superior in your household. Yeah. Right. Not a stain on me. Right. Yeah. Keep your composure. Don't let that power over you Know what I mean? Don't give anybody that power over you. Keep your superiority. We're not supposed to let the power of emotions or overtake, the power of giving somebody the power of our emotions. We're supposed to be cool, calm, and collective. And we can't build up our nation, build up our brother, build up our sister, build up our households if we let emotion just take control over the situation. We cannot build up the nation of Israel, the kingdom of heaven on earth, if we further divide brother against brother, sister against sister. And a lot of times emotion does that. Keep your emotions in control. Remember, we're supposed to love one another like Christ says. We can't love one another if we just let our emotions rule us. The man is supposed to rule the household, not emotions. Brotherhood is the key. Brotherhood is the foundation of the nation of Israel. That's how we bring the kingdom here on earth. It's through our brotherhood. We are defenseless without it. Brotherhood is our weapon. Without brotherhood, the kingdom will not be here. It is in us. In us is brotherhood. And with that, I pass the class over to young man Jose.
This is the ISUPK. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for the new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18, verse 21, and verse 3, Malachi chapter 3, 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to treasury department or teacher, priest fund, free will, offering for priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever among you would like,
Whichever amount you would like.
uh-huh, whatsoever, Salakia, whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocations. Announce holy convocations from the sheet. Here we go. And it's
Hakanaka.
yeah, I know. It's a feast of the dedication. Hakanaka, 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days, which translates to Sunday 14th of December 2025 for 8 days. And that's
Right.
on the scripture for that one is First Maccabees 4:52 through 61.
Right. Is that it? No, the brothers.
And then the
If
next one is Purim.
no, you're supposed to say if anyone wants to be a trooper
Okay. If anyone wants to be a trooper, where's that at?
on the page.
Okay, there we go. And then it says, remind Akuyam and okay. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pant, headband, and scarf.
That concludes the Isupk Assembly.
Oh, that concludes ISUPK San Antonio.
Okay. And with that, Amajam, which means stand. Sar, Wapan Hakwadam, which means turn and face the east. We're gonna read the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malathwaka, Taba'a, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Latan Lanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawatyanawa, Wala, Tabaayanawa, Panasayawan, Abal, Havashaynawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwat, Wahala, Wahataparat, La'awalamium, Aman. And what we said in English was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And let us not, Salakia, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Sar, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Aman Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Brakatah, Yajamata. Sar, face sisters. Sisters, you can rise. Amajim, which means stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Aman Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Latah Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So like it. Yahweh Shamar Alatah Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yajamata. Class dismissed.
Good. The first one.